Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nakia, the content creator for True Horror Stories POV.
Hi, my name is Akif. I am Nakia's brother-in-law.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nakia. Salah lagi. Sorry. One more time. Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nakia.
Kucing. Banyak disturbance hari. Lagi.
Dah lah orang tarik-tarikan ke seluar aku. 3, 2, 1. Wah. Now everybody wanna go smoke lah. Kalau ambil rekod ni bagus. Serang tekan keluar.
Aku pun tak isap rokok.
Kau jangan.
Semua orang ribut keluar.
Tu lah.
Tak apa, we have our own time together.
Okay. 3, 2. OCD sikit. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nakia.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Akif and I am Kak Nakia's brother-in-law.
Yes, and for this episode, we're going to explain to you guys the story for night laundry.
Yep.
So for this story, it's actually a 2-part series. It happened, I think, when kat Singapore, it was like rainy season. I don't know if you guys can remember or can relate lah. That day, almost hari-hari hujan lebat. And it's not like hujan macam renyah-renyah tau. It's very super heavy rain to a point where Singapore was so cold that we don't need to on aircon. I still remember that day. Current safe.
Yeah.
So but anyway, I think this it happened on a
Saturday night.
Saturday night because kita had our
Movie
night. Yeah, so that time kita selalu macam every weekend kan, kita selalu watch movie together
Yep.
So that night I remember my husband, he went out to buy tidbits. Snacks and tidbits because kita movie night apa. And then Akif was in his room, in my room actually, tengah edit
My own music videos.
Yeah, his own music
stuff.
videos and stuff lah, dance covers and everything. So I took the chance to actually catch up on my laundry because dah berlambak kan, every time hujan semua tak lesi dah. So I was doing it at night. Even though ramai orang atau even my own mother-in-law and my own husband cakap like you do not do laundry at night, I degil because dah pile up too much. Rainy season, so that it was too much. Then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it lah just get it over and done with. So while I was doing, my sister, they have this habit of showing me my niece punya progress. So at that point of time, my niece tengah belajar animal sound tau. So my sister was like macam, come buat suara animal. So she was like suara chicken, suara I don't know, lion or something, all the animals lah. So while she was doing that, I was doing laundry. So called macam teman, like tengah teman me lah. So I put my phone there. I still remember put on the phone stand and I switch on the loudspeaker. And then she was making the sounds and everything. I was tengah layankan whilst doing my laundry. Exactly what you guys saw in the video lah. Then I didn't realise at one point of time, I heard a very mula-mula faint tau, dark sound. I heard the quack sound. And I was like, okay. Then nothing, tak terfikir buruk ke apa-apa because I thought it was my niece buat the sound. Dia macam whack gitu. So I thought she was the one who make that sound. So bila tengah tu halfway dah I realise macam asal macam lain sikit bunyi dia. Then I turn to look at my phone. And then I realise actually my phone got disconnected from the Wi-Fi. Yeah, so memang my kitchen area, my laundry area tu memang internet susah nak dapat sikit lah because it's quite jauh from the router and everything. So I was like asal tu. But then I thought that maybe visually the screen tengah reconnecting but the sound still ongoing. So that's why I didn't freak out sangat at the point. I was just thinking macam asal ni, is it laggy ke apa? Then Akif came and then Akif came was like, then he was like
Your face was like blanked out, no? So when I went in the kitchen, when I opened the door, because the sliding door has a lock, it was unlocked lah. So when I opened the door, I saw her looking at her phone, macam tergamam gitu.
Confused
You
kan?
were really looking at your phone. It's not like macam Wi-Fi problem, macam
asal
dan aku daripada nak cepat dah, aku tengok muka kau, aku terus macam kau okay tak? Aku kau terperanjat. I remember you were shocked by the sound of the door.
Yeah, because Danny masuk, dia tak kasih salam, dia macam bom, dia tak masuk gitu tau.
Dan aku gini bom, kau macam
Ya.
aku dah kau kita.
Dah lah the phone, and then like dia ni masuk tak kasi salam everything, so double lah. Tapi then after that I shrug it off because I thought wifi problem, just think positive, wifi problem. And then luckily, and also I was thinking dia ni ada kat rumah, so I'm not alone, so tak payah takut.
The thing is, the reason why I came into the door is because I was scared to be alone in your room.
Faham?
That's why aku macam cepat sikit lah, kita nak tengok movie apa.
Yeah.
Kau tunggu aku sorang-sorang tak apa-apa.
Because we kalau boleh lah, we don't leave each other sorang-sorang lah So but bopian I cannot ask him to edit his videos dekat my dapur area, and I have to finish my laundry because dah berlambak semua. So I thought like 5 minutes I can finish, you know.
Nah, it wasn't 5 minutes.
It wasn't 5 minutes. So I continued on to do my laundry, and then after that I realised macam then I even reminded him, because kita me and my husband, in fact everyone kita kena lock kita punya pintu dapur, because kita punya cats kan very naughty, they like to push open the door. So our kitchen door, if you guys watch our BTS story, right, our kitchen door actually is lockable, you can lock it. So we make it a habit to always lock. Pasal pernah tak lock, kucing push and then they go inside our kitchen, lepak kat tingkap, which is, you know, very scary and stuff. So we always make it a habit, and because it's a habit, most of the time when somebody is in the kitchen, kita tend to lock each other in. So it really, it's a norm for us to terlock each other lah. So when that happened, when he went out, I specifically ingat tau, macam PTSD sikit, so I shouted at him macam, kau lock pintu Then he was like, no, he didn't. So
I did not at all.
So that's what he claimed lah, he tak lock the door.
I didn't lock the door. No.
So until now he still cakap he never lock the door, but but anyway, so I trust you
Sumpah.
Sumpah. So after that then I continued and did my laundry. So this was when the sound actually got louder. So I know orang cakap macam as you get pelan, that means dia makin dekat, but for me it was the opposite, dia makin kuat, like really makin kuat. So I realised asal sound ni makin kuat. And then my window actually dia facing padang tau. So the sound actually, kalau someone were to shout apa dia, it will be like echoey gitu, because it's an open space. But this one the sound is very enclosed. It's like macam but it's in a confined space. So I thought it was my phone connected balik, because just now I didn't hang up with my niece So I thought asal macam, is it connect balik ke apa lah, wifi suddenly okay ke apa. So I picked up. When I pick up the phone, I was checking, I realised tak ada, dah off semua, wifi is not even connected to anything. Then I mata macam ternakal ke apa, then when I was turning tengah kononnya getting a better reception ke apa, then I saw ada benda dia tengah nyangkung outside my window. So actually in the video we didn't do a nyangkung punya thing, but we did something standing lah. But what actually happened was, it was tengah nyangkung just in front of my window. So bila dia tengah nyangkung tu, I freaked out because it was so close. I ran to the door, baru nak buka pintu nak lari kan, I cannot open the door. So that's the part where I was screaming for him. Aku pekik sampai anak tekak nak keluar semua. But then
I was editing my music, so I was really plugged in.
Dia pakai headphone, the loud volume and everything, so he say he never hear me lah.
Tapi apa yang aku heranan, even though when I'm plugged in and full blast, right, usually I can hear.
Itulah.
Tapi aku tak dengar langsung.
That's why.
When you told me like you were screaming for me, right, I didn't hear anything at all.
And the scream, when I was screaming, it was legit scream tau. I didn't even hold back, because like you imagine being locked in with that thing staring at you at the window. So I was really just screaming macam Akif dah malam tau, and I don't care, because for me I really needed help. But dia mati-mati cakap dia tak dengar apa-apa. So and I want to blame his macam dengar gitu, but a few times bila dia dengar then bila aku panggil kau, dia dengar tau. So I was thinking macam
No, because kesian lah kau. Aku betul-betul tak dengar. Macam mana kau nak aku tolong kau?
So I was really struggling with the door tau, dah pekik and everything kan, really struggling with the door. And then finally I realised that the sound actually got pelan, more softer. Then I realised, then that means imagination is that thing flew away lah. So dia fly away. So I was like, then I brave myself. For our house in the window yang korang nampak in the video kan, it is actually linked the closest punya macam way to the toilet lah, the window kan. Macam kalau pekik, people in my master bedroom boleh dengar, pasal it's the most paling dekat lah. So I beranikan diri and I went to that place and I shouted for him because I thought ni jauh apa, as in at my pintu is very far, so I actually went closer.
I don't know whether the video capture, but through the window can see the room that I was in.
Yeah, that's the room.
So it's nearer for her to shout through the window.
Yeah. So I remember purposely beranikan diri lepas tu dah baca dah Allahu Akbar, dah trying to calm myself down. I beranikan diri, go to window and I called for him. In the video, I actually the lampu kalau korang nampak, it was actually switched on kan in the toilet. But in reality, lampu tu off. Okay, the reason why kita on it in the video pasal nanti some of you all cakap gelap, tak nampak apa-apa kan. So, kita switch it on lah. But in reality, that toilet lampu was actually switched off. So, korang imagine it was dark there and I was shouting in the black window tau. Gelap apa, dark window, I was shouting for Akif. And then I didn't realise benda tu was actually slowly creeping up in front of me. Lambat tau reaction time because gelap. My eyes couldn't detect
it was like a silhouette at first.
Silhouette gitu. Then after that my eyes dah settled, then I realised it's a face. It's that thing kat depan. Tu part dah tak boleh dah tak boleh fikir apa-apa. I ran dekat pintu and
you should tell them what you told me that day you saw.
Tak aku. Okay.
Tu aku membulu rumah naik.
Okay, so actually it was a black figure. It's a black figure. But what made me realise that it wasn't just a kain or darkness apa then. It was because there was something red terkeluar gitu. Then when my eyes settled in, I saw it was actually lidah. So the tongue was so long and it was, I wouldn't say it was bloody, but it was so, yeah, it was a tongue lah. Okay, I just wanted to say that it was a tongue lah. Okay. Then after that, I ran to the door balik. I cannot stay there anymore. I ran to the door and I saw Akif punya kelibat. Opening the door for me. So that's how I was like, oh, okay. So that point of time, I really think it was Akif. You know, the whole scene and everything dah panic kan. So I really thought he dah paiseh kan. He heard me screaming but he didn't come. So he unlocked the door lah. Macam kononnya tak nak kena marah ke apa. So that's the part where I told him, you know what, we just keluar rumah je. Because somehow I feel macam too exposed lah. Macam dah tak safe gitu kot. Yeah, macam because my window masih open lagi and everything. I cannot do anything. So I feel that the best way is to just get out lah. So I told Akif to keluar rumah. And he followed me lah from what I know. He followed me all the way to the lift.
But the thing is, I only hear that the door, when you open the door and you slam the door closed, right? The house door. I heard it. So I took out and then I thought Abang Aidil got back from buying the snacks, right? So I went out. Then I saw like no one. And then I went to the kitchen. No one. Then aku takut. Aku freak out. Siapa yang buka pintu, right? I opened the door. I saw you literally on your phone walking the alley. So is she what? Abang Aidil beli banyak barang ke? Are you gonna help? Yes. So I'm like, tapi takkan kau tak bilang aku je? Aku takut je.
Like I said, we don't leave each other. So
so when I left the room to go to the, it was dark. The house was dark, and then I got freaked out. So I opened. Dia ni kurang ajar ni, tinggalkan aku seorang. So that's when I closed the door. I just didn't think of anything, and then but I called out for you.
Yes. Tapi aku tak dengar. The thing is that tak tahu whether I panic or aku kena block ke apa, aku tak tahu lah. But I really didn't hear him calling out for me. Because at that point of time I was busy tengah cakap. Like I feel lah macam I was having conversation with you. So maybe aku block out ke apa, aku tak tahu lah.
But it looked as though you were rushing because you look like, I thought in my mind, oh, Bang Aidil is rushing you.
Tengah urgent angkat barang lah.
Yes. I remember I told you, then I was like, oh, mungkin dia tengah busy kot. So that's when I just like, okay, I just wore my shoes quite halfway tak masuk my shoes just halfway. Then I just went to follow you. But that's when.
That's when nearing the part of the lift, I actually heard fast footstep. Aku dah takut because I was walking with Akif and then I was like, ada benda follow lah because I heard footstep kat belakang tengah kejar tau. So I told Akif, masuk lift cepat. Bila dah masuk lift cepat aja, pintu tutup, Denny pop out.
Yes.
Siap.
Little did you know, the one that you should fear is the Akif in the lift. And I was scared for myself as well, because like, Asal kau turun aku tinggal
yeah.
because her alley is also freaking scary, you know.
Yeah, it's a linkway bridge to rooftop garden. So
Yeah.
that part kan malam diorang off the lampu. So it's so creepy.
Yeah, it's really
So
creepy.
he was stuck there. Meanwhile, aku stuck dalam lift.
Yeah.
So what happened was when I'm stuck in the lift, this one we didn't add in the story lah. But what actually happened was the moment I saw the real Akif at the door and I realised that Akif wasn't with me in the lift, I felt heavy breathing behind my neck. Betul-betul kat belakang sini, dia macam sengaja wanna let me. And the thing is that, remember aku selalu cakap dengan orang kan, kalau masuk lift, I always stand at the corner, at the back so that nothing can scare me. So this breathing,
sama.
kan,
Yeah.
this breathing was there tau. So, I don't know man, who is that skinny? I don't understand, don't answer me that. Kurus gila and it was breathing behind, macam gitu, and aku punya neck.
Actually dia nak gini kot.
So I felt that heavy breathing. Terus aku this part dah tak boleh lari, dah tak boleh buat apa. I just closed my eyes and just cepat-cepat tengah tahan lah, macam nak picit lip kan, nak buka kan. Sekali bila pintu lip buka, check make sure tingkat 1. Because pernah terjadi salah tingkap and everything, tu cerita lain Masuk tingkat 1, check, lekas-lekas lari. When I ran out, terus tunggu kat kapak. Then I texted my husband. I was like macam, B, I jumpa you kat kapak. I don't like to tell this kind of things dekat via text because macam I don't want him to panic. You know, member tengah riding and everything kan. So for his safety I didn't tell him. So I just told him to meet him kat kapak. Shortly after, like I think a few minutes ke apa, dia ni turun.
Yeah, I think it was about 5 minutes because I was contemplating whether to go down or not. Aku tak lock pintu rumah kau. Because I was scared, right? At the point of time when I went out, I didn't think of locking the door. I just went straight to catch you.
Okay.
And then I saw you going down the lift. So aku macam terfikir, should I lock the door or not? Then after a few minutes contemplating, then I just went down.
Kau tahu kau turun lambat tu kan, itu buat aku panik because I thought aku dah nampak kau dekat pintu lift apa. So I was like, asal turun lambat? It doesn't make sense for aku.
And pula my phone was off.
Yes.
Yeah.
So his phone was, aku tak tahu battery dia ni selalu off.
Yeah, just have a habit not
Busy
charging my phone.
So yes, he does have a habit. So then aku panic that point of time. Even though I have my phone and everything, aku cannot contact him at all. So what happened was, bila dia ni dah turun, aku didn't want him to come near me. Aku actually told him to stay away.
Yeah. She literally stopped me in my tracks. She was like, jap. Then aku fikir lain. Aku ingatkan ada hantu kat belakang aku. So I just stopped. And then I look behind, check blind spot, tak ada apa-apa. That's when I asked her.
Ada benda kat belakang
Ada hantu kat
Ada
belakang.
hantu kat belakang. Yeah, then I was like, kau lah hantu tak lah. Tak.
Yeah.
Because I really thought it was him, you know, as in I really thought. But
She looked really, your face was
aku panik gila. Yeah,
gila.
but okay, to be honest kan, I kinda know that this one was the real Akif because gerak-gerik dia is not as stiff as the first one. Tapi because dah paranoid and then like dah pernah kena tipu tadi semua kan, I just wanted to play safe lah. So aku tanya kau. So what I made him do was, I was like cakap kau, okay, sumpah demi Allah, cakap yang kau ni, because aku pernah dengar lah orang cakap benda ni tak boleh cakap nama Allah ke benda. So I was like macam I forced him to.
So instead of aku kata sumpah demi Allah, because aku literally thought that there's hantu kat belakang, aku baca ayat kursi. Yeah, kan? Yeah, Allahu la ilaha illallah. Abang tu kau okay.
Yeah, then after that I was like, okay, I know that's the real Akif Yeah, because So after that, then we both waited for Abang Aidil and my husband to come, even though like he kind of know
what happened
tapi not the full story because I don't like to repeat my story. So I wait for everybody to be present, including my husband semua. Then I would say macam like, then I would tell one shot. Yeah. So
when all that happened, I know that I didn't want to ask her what really happened. Yeah, because she really looked panicked as well.
Yeah.
So, but I remember telling you, I just sat beside you. I said, I know maybe something happened, but it was a big move to just leave me alone.
Masih blame aku. Yeah, so but this is the part aku demi Allah, you know, aku really said this so many times. Aku really legit aku keluar dengan kau.
Yeah.
So that's why because kita leave no man behind, but aku really thought it was kau. That's why aku left. Yeah. So bagus lah. Aku fikir dia lock aku in and dia fikir that aku tinggalkan dia. Yeah. So
Hantu ni main pandai nak burn bridge.
Yeah. So Yeah, so that actually, for those people who are asking what actually happened in the lift kat Brunei, we didn't add that part because the ending is quite macam gitulah. I just felt heavy breathing around at my neck, and then like lift door opened and I ran out to Akif datang, and after that what happened was malam tu my husband came back. He was a bit pissed because I left the kitchen window open besar gila, and then but
kucing no, the door
was open also.
Yeah,
the door was open also. So but luckily the cats didn't. I think the cats pun takut. Yeah, because the cats didn't go inside our kitchen, which
usually,
which is very weird because usually bila kita punya pintu dapur buka, they would run in like crazy because makanan kucing semua kat dalam.
Even if it's unlocked but the door is closed, they will open.
They will push and open. So that night was weird. Then luckily when my husband saw that the tak ada kucing kat dalam sana, then kita lekas tutup close the window and everything,
and then I did a head count on the cats.
Kita kira all the cats, so make sure everything ada. Kita masuk bilik macam sardin, kita solat jemaah kita solat jemaah. After that kita try to sleep in wudu lah, as in berwuduk sambil tidur. Tapi aku tak boleh tidur malam tu.
I literally slept in their room on the floor.
On the floor.
But then I was just using my phone, and then after that I just looked at her. She just like, babe, aku tak boleh tidur
but we didn't want to say much. Kita just macam cakap, kita tak boleh tidur. Then kita try to joke tapi
but it wasn't it
it wasn't
that night wasn't it. Tapi aku ingat kau masih kau nak tengok movie then aku macam maybe that would be good.
Movie apa?
Aku movie apa? Kita tengok horror movie. Aku macam tadi dah horror lah sia.
Aku suka tengok cerita horror.
Tapi I mean not the right mind not the right time, like seriously.
But at that point of time aku memang selalu tengok cerita horror, like that's I like too. So that's my go-to but so basically that is the backstory for episode 7, Night Laundry, for those of you who are asking. And any last words kau nak cakap?
Don't do your laundry at night.
Buy a dryer.
And don't ask your nephew or niece to do a itik sound, okay? Jangan.
Especially at night.
Jangan.
Okay, so itulah wise words from us before we close off this episode. And if you like our content, like and subscribe our channel, and you can also follow me at Christianakia at apa pun nak kasih email address.
Wow, tiba-tiba.
You can follow me on my IG at Christianakia, and also follow him.
And my Instagram, my name is Akif.
So nothing else?
Nothing else.
Okay, itu aja. We'll see
Twitter.
We'll see you.
Twitter. TikTok.
Twitter. Silakan.
Okay. True Horror Stories POV at Twitter and TikTok as well.
Okay, and that's about it. Till next time, we'll see you again, inshallah. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, my name is Aidil, suami kepada Nakia, and this is my story. Okay, kalau korang dah tengok episode 7, itu kisah my wife. So basically, this is my part of story lah. Bukan my wife sajalah yang pernah dengar. Pada ketika waktu malam tu, I think hari Rabu ke hari Khamis kalau tak silap. Lingkungan dalam pukul 1 lebih pagi. Saya suka makan malam. So 1 lebih masuk dapur cari makan, masaklah Maggi. Ketika masak Maggi tu kan, first bunyi itik tu sangat dekat. Jadi bila dah dengar first time tu, okey lah, buat bodoh lah, masak Maggi macam biasa. Terus bunyi lagi ke second time, tapi dia makin jauh. Okey, Aidil, tak apa, buat bodoh, masak Maggi. Cepat-cepat, pasal perut dah lapar kan? Okey, buat bodoh sudah. Part yang ketiga kali tu dia dah makin jauh tu. Terus okey, ni dah tak boleh jadi ni. So slowly pergi kat tingkap, I lock the windows ni semua kan. Okey, macam biasa. Sediakan Maggi ni semua, makan kat dapur juga tau. Pasal that time my wife tengah sakit, so I don't want to bother her lah. Makan bilik semua kan, dia ada rest. So within that period of time, dah tak ada apa-apa tau, dah tak ada bunyi, tak ada apa-apa. So takut pun rasa macam gelisan ni semua dah tak ada, dah hilang. Bila dah tengah sedap-sedap tu makan Maggi kan, sekali dengan my wife, nak makan apa tu? So macam biasalah, I thought dia pun nak makan juga ke apa. So I just tanya balik, I bilang dia lah, Maggi, you nak makan juga ke? Then dia diam, dia senyap, tak ada jawab balik, tak ada apa. Then I was thinking, asal dia ni diam kan? Actually tak ada fikir apa-apa tau. Cuma okey lah, since dia tengah sakit, maybe dia nak makan juga ke apa kan. Okay, then I just pergi balik bilik. Then I was about to ask her lah, actually you tanya kenapa nak makan juga ke apa. Tapi bila buka pintu tu, then I saw my wife macam tengah kena empap tau. Dia macam suffocating, tak boleh nafas. dia cakap, asal macam ni ni. Dan straight away I rush to my wife lah. I just touch my wife punya tangan, baru dia macam free from dia punya timpa. Dia cakap, I kena empap, saya tak boleh nafas, tak boleh apa. Dan I said, macam, coincidence much kan. Macam, ada itik punya suara. Then I heard her voice and kind of thing. After that, dia pula, Alhamdulillah lah, memang tergerak hati tu nak rush pergi bilik, check my wife. So after, tapi I tak ceritakan my wife on the spot tau. The next day baru I ceritakan my wife lah about this thing. Dan dia pun berasa macam actually I had a dream lah, this kind of thing. Dia kabit, lepas tu kena empap. Biasalah mimpi kakak ni semua kan. So yalah, that's is part of my story lah.
Hi, I'm Aziz. Aidil and Nakia neighbor atas dia. For the episode 7, the night laundry, it really affect me a lot lah, because like I have the same experience. The sound and kan dah naik ni. Yeah, so actually it happened a few times. It happened to me first. I selalu balik malam. Then actually it happened from the walkway lah. From walkway keluar from the car park keluar je dah rasa dah bau dia dah datang lah. Bau wangi lah, like very soft. Then I was walking, go to my unit, buka pintu, as you know, there just baca selawat dulu, masuk. Then the mistake is I never wash my legs straight away. I straight away masuk dapur je. Then it sounds like as how they heard is like suara itik lah. It's like really soft, like quite. It's like, kiwak mana saya itik malam-malam macam ni kan. It's like weird because for me, I never close my window before. My kitchen window tak pernah tutup. Then that's where bunyi dia makin kuat. And then pelan bunyi flap lagi. Then I was like, okay, fine, I don't know what is this. Then buat bodoh. Then I was like, okay, relax, duduk dulu kat sofa. Then I want to minum air, dia bunyi lagi. Then I was like, ni apa ni, dia duduk situ ke apa. Like I did not glance, but from your side view, it's like macam ada tak ada, dia just move off. Then that's where I wash my leg. Then I just duduk kat sofa lah, cause my wife all dah tidur kan, they slept inside. Then my bilik, so called my kids punya room lah. My kids room usually their toys semua I take out their battery semua lah, to save battery semua everything kan. Then ada mainan ni dia bunyi lah. It's like very loud no, macam terpanjat gitu lah. Then I was like, apa benda ni mainan ni main gini. So I was just buat bodoh lah. I know it will stop by itself. Okay, fine. Then another one bunyi. Then I was like, it cannot, usually mainan it will just like one mainan it sounds, but this one after this mainan dah stop kan, the mainan gets to main. Then I was like, okay lah, never mind. Then I'll just forget about it lah. Yeah, so that's my experience lah. But my wife experience also sama juga, dia pun dengar juga. And her sound also, she have the similar sound of like bunyi itik and the toys also. And it happened a few times, yeah. So I watch Nakia-nya video that is night laundry, cuci kain malam-malam lah. Siapa cuci kain malam-malam? So her house concept and my house concept is the same, sama, exactly the same. Cuma kita atas bawah je, yeah. So and where the video she showed that thing kat situ, and it really trigger me a lot. Bulu rumah and it trigger me a lot. It's like, oh shit, nak tengok my wife tak berani tengok pun. Yeah, so that's my experience lah. So dengar and bau dia semua everything, then the toys moving steady. So we thought that it is normal for the sound, but actually it's not lah. Sekian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hi, my name is Rizal. Saya jiran kepada Nakia dengan Aidil, and saya tinggal just right below their unit. Right after saya tengok cerita episode 7, then saya baru teringat saya pernah experience things happen exactly about the same kat dalam unit saja, and this is my story. So after moving in few weeks or few months, then I was on night shift. that night. So my wife selalu tak pernah kacau when I was at work or going out. Then suddenly she started to message, then tell me that she hear something macam ada benda bunyi kat service yard, but tak nampak lah. Then I told her, bunyi apa? Then she like macam ada bunyi itik gitu. So I tell her, jangan risau lah, ni cuma maybe your mindset or what, just go to sleep. Then she told me, no, this thing keep on dengar lama gitu. Then I told her, tak apa, you just baca apa-apa surah, then just go to sleep. Then after few days, jumpa my father-in-law. Then I told him lah apa yang jadi gini-gini semua. Then say tak apa, we'll come over and sleep over your house. And maybe when you on night shift, I can teman my daughter or what. So okay lah, can just come. Then there's one night, I was watching TV with my father-in-law. Usually kita selalu lepak kat living room dalam until 5am, 6am, just layan drama ke apa-apa lah. And this one night, suddenly macam ada kelibat kat service yard. I was like, apa benda tu Then I told my father-in-law, nampak tak? Dia say, tak apa, buat bodoh, jangan layan. Saya okay lah. Then suddenly, my window, service yard window semua tutup. Pasal that time tak ada grill, so window semua tutup lah. Then happen to be tiba-tiba service yard pintu macam like terbuka. Macam bunyi not say kuat, tapi obviously macam ada orang yang tolak. I was like, apa benda ni? Then my father-in-law say, jangan fikir apa-apa. I say, okay lah, never mind, you carry on with your movie, just go back and sleep. So far, yalah, that's all my story. Itu je.
Hi, my name is Aidil. I'm Naskia. Okay, ini ceritakan.
Oh, hi, I'm Aziz.
Apa lagi?
Alhamdulillah, after that tak ada apa jadi lagi dah.
Nak apa-apa jadi tak?
Tak nak. Jangan.
Bagus, kita dapat minum-minum air semua.
Still record ni.
Okay, my name is Rizan. Currently, saya
Sorry, minum dulu.
currently pula.
Tempat korang
Selit sikit.
Laju dia minum. Lazat gitu.
Okay.